what have you really worked on the most specifically with your game this offseason? How do you think you've improved on the field?
A big part of my thing was getting a little bit lighter and get a little bit faster. I felt like I was a little too heavy last season to play end. Dropped about 15 pounds and really trimmed my body fat down and felt like I can be a lot faster at end now.
What's the most you weighed last year?
Towards the end of the season, I weighed 280.
Seems like every time we talk to Charlie, it's always like, well, he'd be more effective with the tackle and stuff. Does that ever kind of motivate you to kind of prove these guys wrong, that you can play out on the edge?
Yeah, I mean, I want to prove that I can play anywhere. I do my best to show them that every day.
It seems like you've kind of been a guy who's wanted to play end since you came in here. What do you like so much about being on the outside?
I just like playing in space a little bit more than being so far into the trenches where you're just getting constant double teams. I like being able to read plays and make decisions instead of just running into brick walls.
So are you and Seth at the same spot? Are you working on the same spot?
We're both working both sides.
Okay.
How much has this defensive line scheme-wise changed? Bud's talked about how he wants to play more zone on the back end, but has the scheme really stayed the same up front?
I mean, we have the same set of plays and nothing's really changed. We may run more of one thing as opposed to another, but in its entirety now, it's pretty much constant.
Are going to put you around the ball more, or are you going to shut down the main guy? Or can you categorize it for us?
I can't. We'll just see how it goes.
Okay. That said a lot. Thanks, buddy.
Yes.
I know what you're saying.
How does playing left corner, right corner, as opposed to boundary and field in the past, how does that change things for the defense? How does that help you out?
It's different because you have to learn both sides. You have to know both sides. You're not specifically just to one side. And Coach said that from the beginning. He wants us to learn both sides, so there isn't any trouble with if injuries happen. But I think it's a good move, and we're just keep pushing forward, and we're just gotta we gotta take the role of learning both sides just in case injuries do happen, so at all times what you should be able to do and what you should be doing. So I think it helps out.
You talked about it a little bit the other night, but organic chemistry this summer. Just kind of getting through that and what a relief that was.
It was definitely a relief. It was hard. That was probably the hardest class I've ever taken, just from a mindset wise and just having just to push through it every single day. It was like 4 hours a day, so Monday through Friday. So plus the workouts and everything that football was calling for. So it was definitely something that tested me, and I think I passed. And I'm just glad it's over.
Any similarities in chemistry and playing DB in Big Time College football?
Not as much as you would think. No, not at all. Not at all. But it definitely helps out, though. So.
What kind of teammate is Motley? I mean, he's been through a lot. I know you have too, but when he's in the locker room with you guys, what kind of guy is Brendan?
Great guy, full of energy, full of positivity. He's never down. He always wants us to be. He always wants us to better ourselves, and he wants to better himself. So, we keep each other sane. We keep each other, uplifted. And it's never any down moments. If something happens, we move on to the next play. If something happens in life, we move on, and we just learn from it.
Just tell us how you feel. I know since freshman year, it's kind of been one thing after another, just kind of nagging. Do you go back and watch that freshman tape and see you flying around and making plays and just say, man, I want to do that again and feel like I can't do that again?
Yes, sir. Sometimes I watch it. It's just for memories. I love it. I love watching. But I watched all of us, and I'm finally getting back to where I was, and it feels good. And just looking forward to a great season for all of us.
Weight update. What are you right now?
328.
328. Okay. How hard was that? I mean, coming from a background where you came in at 360 pounds, and how hard was it to stay disciplined?
I don't know. It was really hard. I was trying before then. I just couldn't find like a routine or habit to stick with. But I found one, and it's been helping me out. So.
What is the routine and habit? Can you go into any details? Like what do you eat on a daily basis? How much? How's that regimen work?
I basically can eat whatever I want, but choose a little healthier, smaller portions, eat more throughout the day. Just make sure that I'm not eating to get full, just eat so I can go on to the next thing what I have to do. So just picking out my portions and just going throughout the day, making sure I eat enough. And it's easier because then, and on top of that, we're working out. So working out plus eating good, sleeping good, it makes the weight just Jim Craig.
How's the work at defensive tackle going? We've heard so much about you but I think it's hard. Sometimes we forget that you've never played a down yet. So how's the work at defensive tackle going? What kind of progress are you making?
Well, we're all. It's like it's all competition. So we're all going hard. I'm still learning. I got some good guys in front of me right now. Got some guys. I'm still learning from like Nigel and Woody and them. The perks and advantages and stuff like that, and what to do and what not to do. Whenever we get like a little side or a break or a water break, I ask Nigel and Woody like questions. Coach Wiles kind of like influencing me to do that. Some guys that's been here for a while. Just try to, just trying to get the vibe so I can be zoned in with everybody else.
How much better do you feel like you are even endurance-wise now, Tim? Like, do you feel like you can stay in there for 6 plays at a time? Or
I think I can stay in there for 6 plays.
Yeah.
But I don't know about 7.
Do you just feel a lot better now?
Yeah, I feel great. I feel better, best I've ever felt playing football seriously, like high school, freshman year, all the way to now. The best shape I've ever been in.
Besides endurance-wise, and everybody talks about your weight. I mean, what else do you feel like you've gotten better with over the last year now?
I know all the plays. That's the main thing. Like just looking at it, like it's so many plays, but I'm so excited that I know all of them. That was a big goal for me. I don't really have trouble with the plays. Yeah.
I don't realize how fast this is happening.
Yeah, I just be like, man, you don't understand. It's happening real fast. You got a split second to make a decision, and after that, you got to go with it. So, man, I would have did this, I would have did that. But come on,
Sure you would.
You know how it is.
Were there any that you went back and watched and were like, oh damn, I should have done that?
Purdue game. That's probably about my only one. I should have scored. That was it.
And did anyone call that one?
Everybody called. Everybody was like, man, how you didn't score and all this. So, but it happens.
Is it friends, family members who?
Yeah, friends, family. They'd call and be like, man, you should have scored or you should have made this cut. So.
In terms of the guys in front of you. Is it a different approach? Because Frank also Coach Beamer used to put a lot of starters on special teams.
Yeah.
Are you guys doing the same thing? Do you see a lot of guys in front of you that play on?
There's a lot of starters on the special teams. A lot of players they think they can make some plays on the special teams. Like any other team, special teams is a big aspect of the game. You can win and lose. So I think it's going to be big for us. When you get down to the close games, being that we lost a lot of close games last year, special teams is going to be a big aspect for us.
Have you ever worked as a punt return guy?
Never. I can catch punts though, but I never worked as a punt return.
What's the biggest difference between those two?
I think the blocking is better on kick return because it's not like you got a lot of time to set up, see what's going on. And then on punt, you got to either fair catch or catch it and go. So
sounds good. Thanks, man.
What's it like growing up in 757, football-wise? I mean, how rabid is it as a kid?
It's a lot of competition down there. A lot of athletes who don't make it out because of whatever reason, but it's a lot of competition down there, and only the strong survive, the best survive. I guess you could say.
Did everybody want to wear number 7, or on the youth teams, or emulate Vic, or?
Yeah, some did.
Yeah.
I wore 7, maybe like 1 year. My favorite number is 3, so I wore 3 a lot. But yeah, everybody wanted to be Vic, D'Angelo Hall, and those guys, Tyrod Taylor, and those guys. So.
Who did you want to be, other than yourself?
If I had to pick, I'd say Vic because I played quarterback all the way up until I got here. So, yeah.
Is it hard to give up quarterback?
Nah, it wasn't hard because I did other things in high school and Part 1, so it wasn't hard. But anything for the team.
Sure.
You played pretty much every position in the secondary during your career here. How much value does that kind of versatility give to Bud Foster in the back end?
I think it just lets him know that, no matter what, I can play any position to help the team.
What are you playing mostly this year so far?
Safety.
Okay.
Safety right now.
So you were a little bit banged up in the spring. How much better do you feel now?
I'm completely healthy now. Moving really well in practice, moving with a lot of confidence, and I'm just ready for the season to start.
How different is this offense from a running back's perspective than the old offense?
I definitely feel like I'm more versatile in this offense from a passing standpoint, like in the passing game, catching screens out of the backfield, stuff like that, and getting the handoffs, running routes out of the backfield. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that, which is really exciting.
Isaiah said they want to go fast. They want to go fast.
Yeah.
He talked about the conditioning, how much things had to change for him. How was the conditioning in the offseason preparation for this offense for you?
Oh, definitely. The conditioning was really good this offseason. We got a really good summer in this season. This summer to get us ready for the season. So I'm really excited for the season.
Is your role changing at all this year as far as how the Hokies use you?
I'm just trying to get better each and every day. I don't know how my role is going to be this year, but I'm expected to have a really big role this year. So I'm just excited for this season and just ready for the season to start.
You in open space sounds like a good idea. Yeah. Swing passes, balls out of the backfield, you can catch the football, right? So, I mean, that's got to be exciting.
Yeah, definitely. Just adds a different element to my game, and I'm just able to manipulate the defense in different ways.
So glad you made the move over the football, though?
Say that again?
You still glad you made the move over to football?
Oh, yeah, for sure. It's been, like I said, it's been a fun experience. I think I'm doing pretty well at it so far. I just keep hoping to get better and keep learning.
If there isn't a whole lot of playing time that ends up happening for you in particular, will you still be happy with that decision, just being on the sidelines and being a teammate?
Yeah, for sure. I've made the decision a while ago, and I'm going to stick with it wholeheartedly through. I'm going to give it everything I got, 100%, and that's really all I can do, and everything from there on else is kind of out of my control. I'm just going to keep trying to the best of my ability, and whatever the coaches feel is by playing time, and that's what I've earned.
Devin, how much weight have you added since the spring? You look quite a bit bigger.
15 pounds.
15 pounds.
I came in around 190, and I think I'm going in the book around 205, 206. So I'm definitely proud of that.
How much better do you feel physically? Was it harder competing in football, obviously, at 190 than it is at 205?
For sure, yeah. I'm definitely able to take hits a lot easier. Definitely able to give up more of a blow. When I first came in here, I was kind of getting thrown around a little bit, not gonna lie, but I've definitely learned from that and been able to gain the weight to kind of combat it.
You were pretty aggressive in high school when you played football. Do you feel like you can return to that and maybe, like you just mentioned, kind of lay it on people as opposed to the other way around?
Definitely in the beginning, I wasn't as aggressive as I thought I would be, just because the guys here have just been playing football and they're a lot nastier and they've been just doing it for a lot more longer. It's their kind of mentality. But I definitely think I've been picking up my aggressiveness level as the weeks go by, and hopefully it just keeps getting higher and higher.
Based upon your basketball, I would imagine the conditioning wasn't that big a deal for you, and the pace isn't that big a deal. Is it nice to be able to handle that, or?
Yeah, that was definitely something that I was able to enjoy, because conditioning-wise, I was already up to par, and that's something I just didn't have to worry about. So then I could spend more time in the weight room trying to get bigger. More time in the film room trying to learn the playbook, and more time trying to learn from all the guys that are around me.
So boot camp with Buzz Williams is a little more difficult than summer conditioning with football?
Definitely, I don't want to answer that. It's different. That's the way everyone's been asking me, even guys on the team have been asking me, like, what's it like over there to compare to over here? And I just say it's a lot different, and that's really the only way I can describe it. Unless you go through a boot camp or unless you go through a fall camp or a summer conditioning workout, you wouldn't really understand. So I really like to just say it's a lot different.
Defensive line had a lot of hype around it, a lot of big names and guys that have been here forever. This one, maybe not quite as much. I think Ken probably qualifies as the biggest name on the defensive line. Do you guys like that? Do you like maybe being a little under the radar or maybe not quite as hyped as you were last year?
We actually don't really pay attention to too much of the hype. Even last year we did. We just come out here and look forward to working hard every day. We all push each other competing on every drill during practice. So I think this really going to help us out a lot. We don't really pay attention to the hype around any one of us. So I think that really shows how humble we are, and just look forward to getting to work every day.
You individually, do you have a different outlook for this your senior season?
I just plan on going out and giving them my all like I do every day. Just not leaving any regrets out there, and this is my last season, so just gotta lay it all out there, and I'm excited to do that.
Tim said that the Coach Wiles and Foster don't really let you guys know how the pecking order is at defensive tackle. Is that a good thing in your eyes, or is that something that kind of bothers you?
I think this all keeps us all pretty hungry. We all push each other and keep driving each other to get better every day. And so I'm just excited each day to go out there and compete and learn from each other and teach each other, and just so we get like the best unit we can get out there come game day.
How deep do you think that the defensive line is? I mean, it seems like there's a lot of guys in the mix, in the 2 deep.
We got a lot of talent in that room. I can't really say like where the drop off is, but I see a lot of guys competing every day, in and out. They come in and try and make the best out of each other. So I'm excited to see how well we go throughout the season.
I've seen both at guard and tackle.
I have been, yes. Coach is big on switching people around and just seeing who can do what, and kind of keeps us out of our comfort zone so we're able to play any position if the need arises.
This is your third offensive line coach in 4 years here. What's that transition like going between coaches like that?
It's tough, but luckily the offense has stayed very similar in ways, and when it changes, we have to get in the playbook and work really hard to understand all these new plays, and I think everybody's done a pretty good job of that.
Up on the podium, Coach Fuente said the group that he's been most pleased with really since he got here was the offensive line. It's been a long time since we've heard a Virginia Tech head coach say that. How would you judge the progress you guys have made?
Well, I think that you can definitely tell a difference from years past, and all the guys are really good friends. We're close, we hang out, mesh really well together, and I think that carries over onto the field. We compete in the weight room, we compete on the field, so that's where it starts to carry over to the games.
And do you guys feel like you're really adjusting to the tempo, the change in terminology, and the change in schemes?
I believe so. A lot of the schemes stay the same, and the hard part's learning all the new terms for it. But Coach Hilgard did a great job this summer and in the spring of getting us ready for this fast-paced offense we're going to run, and hopefully we'll be putting up some big numbers this year.
How much weight did you drop since Hilbert has come on board?
Yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe 25 pounds, and it'd be interesting to see the net weight gain and weight loss that I've had since I've been here. It's been very up and down, and that's something I need to work on, is just staying at a consistent level. But in the past 6 months, probably 25 pounds. I dropped 3% body fat, I believe, and been really working hard to do what I can to help this team.
You feel better? Feel like you're in better shape now?
I do. I definitely do, and the summer conditioning definitely helped with that as well. Ran a lot this summer, more than we ever have, so that goes back to being ready for this fast-paced offense.
I know we just talked to you recently, but how is the offensive line feeling so far about just as a unit collectively?
We're starting to understand what we need to do and do it, which is good, and it's always good to see this early in camp. So all we need to do now is just keep working every day and win each day one at a time.
Do you ever feel, how good do you think that this defensive line can be with all the different mix of older guys and young guys there?
All right. I think we can be as good as we've ever been. Anytime you have a mix of talent, young talent, which we have a lot of, and then you sprinkle in a little experience, we can be as good as we want to be.
You approaching anything differently as a senior now, knowing this is your last go around?
No, I like to think, I put my best foot forward in every year. I may know a little bit more going into my fourth season, but I approach it the same.
How much have you seen out of Tim Settle? How hard have you seen him work, since he's been here to get in a position where he's, now going to play an impact?
Yeah, Tim's a very hard worker, just like everybody else on the defensive line. He's put himself in a position to compete for the starting job or for the second job, wherever he might land. But he's definitely a very hard worker.
Tim said that you guys don't really have a pecking order as to what the coaches tell you. Is that a positive, do you see it as, or is that more of like a negative and something that bothers you?
I think it's definitely a positive because, you have to come out to practice and you got to earn it every day. There's not, at this point in camp, there's not a depth chart that's concrete. Anybody could be anywhere come kickoff.
Coach Fuente was up there earlier, and he was saying probably the group that's been most consistent since he came in, or the coaches came in, has been the offensive line. don't think that's something that people have said about Virginia Tech for a while. Do you have that feeling? Do you feel like this group has been pretty consistent so far?
I mean, I feel that's, I feel like Fuente, that's a great question for Fuente, but, as for my idea, I mean, I feel that, I trust the guys around me, and I mean, I've answered it like that before, but, that's definitely a question for Fuente. I mean, if that's how he feels, that's how he feels.
Well, you've been around this line the last couple of years. Does it feel like something's different or something's clicking more than maybe it has in the past couple of years?
I mean, it's new, that's what it is, but, I'm just trying to do my job, and for chemistry and everything like that, I trust the guys around me, which is great. But anything from there, it's more from the eyes of the coach. I mean, I'm not trying to be cliche here, but it's truly if he's confident on us, that's great. But I'm just excited to play with these guys.
You're under your third offensive line coach in 4 years. What is that transition like going from one coach to the next, and is it smooth, or how is it from your perspective?
Yeah, I mean, the guys around me, they're all pretty professional guys. They're not all over the place. So if we have to learn something new, we get to the playbook and we learn something new. So I feel like it's pretty smooth, but there's always bumps. But it's been a good time.
Is the biggest thing to learn this go around with the new staff pace and tempo? Or no?
I feel like just getting assignments and playing the best you can play. I mean, it's cliche, like, geez, but it's true. It's playing the best you can play, and hopefully, the guys around you are doing their job, and you can only be one person on the field.